Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of the DunnWisdom Morning Show. So, I have decided to give you 2 days of success tips. On Monday, I shared some coaching tips, and today I'm going to share some marketing tips. Ones that will help you to build a strong personal brand. My name is Melissa P. Dunn. I am the CEO of MD Marketing Network, the founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement, where I introduce you to movers and shakers who are getting things done, as well as share tips that will help you to become successful in life and in business. So let's dive right on into the lesson for today. Okay, there we go. What are we talking about? There we go. It's coming up. All right. So today I'm going to share with you 5 steps for building a strong personal brand off and online. So you might ask, what's a personal brand and why is it important? Well, a personal brand is people's perception of you on and offline. It's how they view you as an expert, how they view you in terms of your ability to keep your word, how they view your actions, not only in your community, but also in your industry. Now, let me, let me make a confession, okay? So I have in the past, when making decisions about businesses to subcontract with for my ad agency, I've gone online. I've Googled them. I've researched them. I've spoken to colleagues that I know is familiar with that person. And, I take those feedback into consideration. I mean, honestly, you guys, right now we live in a instant world where we can basically find anything on Google. So you've got to be mindful of your reputation, not only online, but also offline as well. And the 5 tips that I'm going to show you, the 5 steps that I'm going to show you are steps that I use personally, as well as steps that I use to help my clients build their own personal brand. So my invitation to you is to take out a piece of pen and paper, listen to what I have to say, and pick one of the 5 steps and integrate it into your strategy today. So, as always, I get started with a quote, and this lady right here, Dr. Maya Angelou, is beyond inspirational. Her life and her legacy have really been a beacon of light for me in my personal career. And in this quote, she says, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how they make you feel." All right, that's powerful. So let's dive right on in. 5 steps to building a strong personal brand on and offline. Step number 1, identify your core values. Core values are the things that are important to you. They're the things that fuel your soul. They're the things that really make up the essence of who you are and what you stand for in this world, right? I'm actually going to share I should have pulled this down before, but I have a whole bunch of stickies on my wall. And this is an exercise that I did last year where I just kind of wrote down, I don't know if you can see it. Let me hold it up. I wrote down the things that are important to me, the things that are at the core of who I am, that when it's all said and done, when I'm on my deathbed and I'm reevaluating my life, how do I want to show up? What would I want to have people say about me? And how would I want to view myself? And so I just made a list and just started jotting down words that are important to me. And in my example, in the middle, I kind of circled the one that was most important. So I know that that's the center of my core value. And then I highlighted in yellow the ones that are like critical for me to feel to feel like I'm contributing something to the world. And then in like kind of short term, everyday decisions need to be in alignment with the ones that's in pink, and the one that's in yellow, and the one that are in pink are just like lifelong journey towards maintaining those ways of being. So for me, my core value includes oneness. And when I say oneness, I mean oneness with source, oneness with creator, oneness with that which is bigger than me. For me, I call that entity God. You may choose to call it something else for you. So at the core, for me, it's oneness. And then around that, stability, security, power, influence, and impact. Now, impact is an important core value for me. Everything that I do in my life has to have an impact. It has to inform, it has to influence lives. It has to do three things. Number one, it has to transform lives, impact communities, and promote global understanding. Those are the three core things that's important for me. And around that in my day-to-day life is, you know, peace and freedom and ease, fun, happy, healthy, joy, and love. These are my core values. So everything that I do in my life, every decision that I make, be it business or personal, it has to be in alignment with my core value, right? And so my invitation to you is to take out a sheet of paper and write down your core value, and then identify the three main ones that you want to make sure that everything that you do in life, online and offline, is in alignment with that, so that when people come in contact with you, when they talk to you, when they see your content online, when they are standing behind you in the line at the supermarket, they can feel that way of being exuding from you, because it's at the core of who you are. Okay, so the first step is to identify your core value. The second step is to be clear about your personal mission. So me, I have three personal missions, and everything that I do online and offline must be in alignment with all three. If it's not, I'm not going to do it. Number one, it has to transform lives or impact lives. Number two, it has to transform communities. And number three, it has to advance global understanding, right? So that is, for me, not only in alignment with my core value, but that's what my personal mission in life is. And everything that I do has to be in alignment with that, right? So for example, my decision about what type of marketing clients I want to work on, or what type of projects I want to work on, you know, I'm not the girl that you're gonna call to you know, market Coke. That's not what MD Marketing Network does, right? But if Coke Foundation were to reach out to me and say, listen, we want to do a campaign that's going to impact lives and transform communities, then of course I am your girl for that, right? So you've got to be really clear about your core values, and you also must be clear about what your personal mission is. And then once you have those two things as your foundation, then everything else will build on top of that, right? Your professional life, your personal life, your life as a community servant, everything else will build on top of that. And let me tell you, honey, if it's not, then you're going to find yourself feeling unbalanced. You're going to find yourself feeling unsure of which way to go. You're going to find yourself perhaps struggling in life more than you need to, because your internal, because you're out of alignment with what's important for you, in order for you to feel like you're adding value to the world, and in order for you to feel happy. All right. So take the time, identify your core values, and then become very, very, very unapologetically clear about your personal mission in life. Number three, I want you to pick 2 social media channels and focus on it, right? So, you know, we all know there's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. There's a plethora of social media channels out there, and it's not necessary for you to be on every single one of them. You got to pick the ones that works best for you. All right. So my recommendation is that you choose one where you can share value, you can share value with content. So for me, I'm choosing Facebook with this show, the DunnWisdom Morning Show, where I can add value by sharing what I know, teaching what I know, using this platform, this online talk show, as a way for me to not only build my personal brand, but also build my professional brand as well, right? So pick a channel, a social media channel that you can use to share content in the long form and add value. So perhaps Twitter is not one of those long form social media channels where you can post video and add real amazing content. Clearly, Facebook and YouTube are, right? So you want to make sure that of the two channels that you're picking one where you can share your expertise, where you can teach what you know, where you can monetize eventually, if you want to, monetize your knowledge, right? And we're going to be launching a course that will teach you how to create your own online talk show and your own podcast so that you can indeed brand yourself on social media and teach what you know. The second type of social media channel that you can look at is one where you can build engagement. Instagram is a great tool for building engagement, right? As is Twitter. It's short form, short, photos, short bits of information that you can put out and really engage with your audience, engage with industry leaders, and build your reputation online. So that's my recommendation number 3. Pick 2 social media channels, one where you can share added value and in terms of content, and another one where you can build engagement and create your online tribe, right? So that's a way how you can build your personal brand online. Now listen, I'm gonna say this again. I think a lot of time people underestimate the value of social media and what it means for your personal and professional brand. If you are a school teacher, you don't want to be twerking on Instagram, right? That might not be a good idea. If you are the CEO of a multinational company, you might not want to be giving into political rants on social media. That might not be a good idea. However, if you're a runner, share that. If you are a home chef, share that. I mean, look at our vice president. She loves to cook, and she shares publicly that cooking for her family is something that gives her peace. That's something that she really enjoys doing. And so she shares that part of her life on social media. Don't be afraid to share, as long as what you're sharing is in alignment with your core values and your personal mission. All right. So that's my invitation to you. Now let's talk about offline. You've got to get out and talk to people, you guys. You can't just expect that social media is 100% of your online reputation. Of your reputation. It's not, right? You talk to people every day. The way that you speak to them, the way that you interact with them, the way that you show up professionally in terms of your delivery of your services and your ability to keep your word, that's all a part of your personal brand. Right? If you have a reputation for always being late, that has a negative impact on your personal brand. If you have a reputation for never delivering when and what you say you're going to deliver, that has a negative impact on your personal brand. And let me tell you, your personal brand can become gold, or it can become so toxic that you sometimes have a hard time booking clients. or getting that promotion and you wonder why. Well, take a look at your personal brand and see if, you know, what people are thinking or saying about you really reflects what you want them to think or say about you. All right. So here are some steps that you can put in offline to help to build your personal brand. So my recommendation is for you to pick 2 offline organizations, right? One of them should be professional and one of them should be community service. And, you know, it could be that you do community service stuff through your professional organization. But so for example, I decided to choose the Lauderhill Regional Chamber of Commerce as a professional organization for me, as well as an organization through which I gave service to the community. And so I not only became a member of the organization, I joined the board of directors, eventually became president. And then even as a past president, I was very active, right? And that my engagement in that organization really helped to build my personal brand. And in return, I helped to build the brand of the Lauderhill Regional Chamber of Commerce because I am, after all, a marketing expert, right? And so that was a win-win for me. In terms of community service, I have a nonprofit called the Uriel Wisdom Foundation that I founded in the memory of my son. And through that program, through that foundation, I have the Hibiscus Girls Leadership Academy where I mentor girls in the city of Lauderhill. And so that's how I give my service, right? So that really, both of those offline organizations, both of those offline ways for me to be engaged, not only professionally, but personally, is a part of why my personal brand, when it comes to service, is so strong. Okay, so that's my tip to you. Pick 2 offline organizations that you can become engaged in, and you know, one should be professional, one should be community service. So for example, if you are a if you're a hairdresser, right? Is there an association that you can become involved with that will move your business forward? Yes, it could be a local chamber of commerce. Yes, it could be, you know, if there's a professional association for hairstylists, you can be a member of that association. And not only pay your membership dues and then, you know, do nothing else. No, that's not how it works, honey. You pay your membership dues and you show up consistently. You participate, you engage, you get involved, right? And you take every single opportunity to network, connect, and build relationships with people offline, right? Same thing with community service. If you're passionate about domestic violence, get involved with a domestic violence charity. If you're passionate about youth, get involved with your local Boys and Girls Club, right? But find some way where you can serve in the community, and also by serving, you're building relationships with other people. You're, you know, get on a board. And then, of course, you'll have the opportunity to network and connect with folks. Now, the 5th tip is for you to show up in excellence consistently. Remember what Dr. Angelo said. People remember how you make them feel, right? So check the attitude at the door, check the negative energy at the door. Nobody has time for that. Show up in your true light, show up in excellence, show up in the essence of who you really are on the inside, and allow people to feel your heart and go out of your way to not only be yourself, but also make sure that you are showing up in a way that is 100% in alignment with your core values and your personal mission statement. All right. So to recap, the 5 steps for building a strong personal brand online and offline are: identify your core values, be clear about your personal mission statement, pick 2 social media platforms, pick 2 offline organizations, and show up in excellence consistently. All right. I'm promising you, if you take these steps into account and start to execute them today, you will get results. All right? You absolutely will get results. So let's see who's been watching today. If that was helpful for you, I want you to share and like this video. Let's get this content out to the world. Good morning, Miss Joy. Thank you so much for watching as always. Listen, Miss Joy sends me a text every morning with something inspirational. This morning, she sent me a song by Dionne Warwick, which was quite nice. Good morning, Mom. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Yes, Deanne, engagement is key. 100% engagement is key. And I think sometimes folks forget how important it is for you to participate and for you to show up in a way that is authentic to who you are, right? So every time you're commenting on somebody's post, it's really important for you to do it in a way that engages people, for sure. Hey, Shaki, she says, good morning, Commissioner. Good morning to you too. Oh, how do you learn more about my mentorship program? Well, I will drop in the comments a link to the folder, a link to the flyer. I'm actually in the process right now of building out the website, so that's going to come soon. But I will share the flyer as well. Thank you so much, you guys. If you have any questions additional about building your personal brand, please go ahead and post them right now. I'm going to be on for perhaps another 2 minutes. If you have any questions or want any tips about your personal brand, go ahead and type them in the comments right now, and I'm happy to share what I know. So, you know, sometimes people say, well, Melissa, how do we know which social media platform is right? And how many times should we post? Well, you know, I think if you use that guideline that I gave you in terms of picking two, pick one where you can add value through sharing long form content. And then the second one where you can share, like, build engagement. I think that would really, really support you. All right. Okay. Well, I see no new questions in the chat. I'm going to say good day to you. I want to remind you, as always, to be kind and loving to yourself because you deserve it. Be well. I will be doing a Lauderhill Business Spotlight on Friday at 9 a.m. See you there. Be well, everyone.